Come on, my people, let's check in on America's hat. That's right, Canada. They stopped their elections. You know how America, anyways, the left always goes, democracy dies in darkness. No, it dies in Canada. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Let's check in on our hat, our brothers up north, the quiet, nice people. They're holding strong under the tariffs. And I encourage them to make it last as long as you can, my brother. Let's watch. This guy's the good guy.
Hoping to get your reaction to the federal government's decision to not proceed or at least delay the counter tariffs, given President Trump's pause, and how you would interact with Mr. Trump, given how unpredictable he can be.
We need to keep the counter tariffs in place until the president removes all tariffs forever for Canadians. We can't have half measures. We have to send a clear message to President Trump that if he wants to fight, then we will fight back. We will defend our people and our country.
And that's all we're doing too. We're defending our people, defending our country. Remember, the agreement is you have to stop fentanyl from coming into our country. It's a tiny amount, 43 pounds of fentanyl, which is enough to kill about 10 million people, by the way, 43 pounds. So to give a lethal overdose to 10 million people. So you have to stop that before, and then, so we're just defending our people. And I agree with this more right-leaning Canadian that they're just defending their people.
So the president must remove all tariffs on Canadians before we remove counter tariffs on the Americans.
Oh man, that's going to be tough because you guys have a whole lot of tariffs on us too. We'll get into some of those. But he's going to say we have to remove ours before they'll remove theirs. The whole point is it has to be reciprocal. Everyone has to remove everything. And you're going to have to make a commitment that you're going to block fentanyl from coming over the border.
My message to President Trump is you've got two options. One, you can attack our economy and we will fight back. Your consumers will pay more. Your workers will make less.
And we'll outlast you. I'm sorry. We'll flat out. We have an easier time working around your tariffs than you do around ours.
Both our economies will weaken.
Yep.
Leaving less money for border security and defense on both sides of the border.
And by the way, both of our economies are almost insolvent, but Canada has less backing it up than even America. So this is it is a financial war.
And our enemies will grow stronger. Or you can knock it off.
Knock it off.
And get back to the best trading relationship the world has ever seen.
I know, but the problem is the best part of that trading relationship that we don't want. We want to stop the trading of fentanyl. He's not going to address it. And so now I'm going to start accusing him of being a politician. Bring up the fentanyl, which is what Trump said was why he put the tariffs up in place.
So that both our workers make more, our consumers pay less, our economies have more money for national defense and border security. We can stand up to our real enemies on the other side of the oceans, and America and Canada as two separate countries will be stronger, safer, and better off.
Safer for fentanyl use?
That is the choice with which I will present the U.S. president. But if he doesn't want to deal with Canada anymore, if he wants to attack our economy, then we must be prepared to be strong, sovereign, and stand on our own 2 feet. And that means repealing C-69, the No New Pipelines law, rapidly approving LNG plants, pipelines, mines, and other projects. It means passing a big, bold, beautiful, bring it home tax cut on work, investment, energy, and home building.
Are you telling me that they're going to drill? The entire Canadian government, which right now is bury the needle left. I know the people are right leaning, but he's going to get Canada to reverse all of their green policy after they've been brainwashing their citizens in school, in media, in culture to fear drilling oil and natural gas. And now they're going to all support it. I'd love to see it. I think that'd be great. I'm rooting for him to win. I want them to do this. And all it took was a Trump tariff to pull it off. Yeah, go for your energy independence and drill, baby, drill around the world, because that alone would break the green environmentalist cult around the world.
Well, bring it home, because it's going to bring home that $500 billion the Liberals pushed south. and it will mean you bring home more of your paycheck. That is how we're going to take back control of our lives and bring home our business, jobs.
Trump might single-handedly save Canada's life through this tariff is my proposal. Now, here's Karoline Leavitt on the Canadian cut of the fentanyl threat from Canada.
It's just 43 pounds that were found last year. That's less than a carry-on suitcase.
It's only 43 pounds of fentanyl. That's the journalist making up for. It's only 43 pounds, enough to kill millions of Americans with a fentanyl overdose. But that's all it is. So let's go easy on Canada. Trump's got to be kidding about this anti-drug thing.
Is that a lot of fentanyl compared to, say, Mexico, where the vast majority of the fentanyl is brought in through Mexico, not Canada. So what else does Canada need to do?
Well, I just told you, last year alone, there was a 2,000% increase in illegal fentanyl. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe. And frankly, I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the families in this country who have lost loved ones at the hands of this deadly poison. If you talk to them,
that goes to the head of Canada, that guy running for Canada, prime minister, to all of them. You can go talk to the parents of people that lost a kid to fentanyl. You can just go, well, it's only 43 pounds. Go talk to the amount of kids that died from those 43 pounds. And then tell them how you're not going to do. Look, it's easy. Policify your borders. Do your own secret service against the drug cartels in the north and zero out your fentanyl distribution.
And this president has. They are grateful that they finally have a president who is standing up to both Canada and Mexico, and most importantly, to China as well. The president added an additional 10% tariff on China because this deadly poison is being produced in that country. It's being distributed through our neighbors, and there needs to be consequences for that.
I'm suspect of Trump. The only thing I'm critical of Trump of is that he only gave China a 10% tariff. Why didn't they get a 20% tariff? Come on, Donald. We're ready to man up. Now, elections are dead in Canada. So this is this Jagmeet Singh. He's the flaming liberal who's running against that conservative guy that we saw earlier. This guy's declaring elections are dead in Canada.
Hi, David Thurden from CBC News. So am I understanding you correctly? A confidence vote is completely off the table until you get some sort of support for workers through.
Yeah, so I'll put it this way, to be very clear. We believe at this time, with the urgency of what we're up against, the seriousness of the impact on our economy, on workers, the threat to workers' jobs, the increase in cost of living, that we want to see protections in place first and an election second.
There you go. That's the priorities of the Democrats, of the left. They're hiding behind, because of the terrible tariffs from the Americans. We need to pass some laws on job security and dealing with the tariffs first before we can have an election. Elections come second. This is like the USAID workers that were all hiding behind we were just wanting to feed the starving children as they did money laundering on the backs of starving children. And now he's going, it's the tariffs is why we're removing democracy, removing the no confidence vote in Trudeau.
We're going to have an election this year. We're ready for that.
We
want to see supports for workers done first. For us, this is a matter of putting workers first. An election can come second. And so, yes, absolutely, we are ready to see supports passed in the House, put in place, working to support people who are hurt right now, and then we'll go to an election.
This democracy does not die in darkness. Democracy dies in Canada under this onion head guy. Okay, next up, these are the actual tariffs that Canada already performs on America. Let's take a look at some of these here.
So it's been okay for Canada to charge the United States tariffs, but the moment that the United States wants to charge Canada with tariffs, we're no longer friends or allies.
Let's take a look at these tariffs. This is current. This is before we had tariffs. Canada put a tariff on America for milk, 270% tax. Cheese, 245% tax. Butter, 298%. Chicken, 238%. It was basically they're protecting all of their own sausage, chicken, butter, cheese. Barley seed, 57%. Bovine cow meat, 26%. See, they're protecting their own industries. Cars, 25%. Heating, air conditioning, 45%, vacuums 35%, cable boxes 35%, TVs 45%, steel 25%. Holy cow. Aluminum 40, copper 45%. So they say they want us to zero out our tariffs first, and then they'll zero out theirs. I don't believe you. You can mutually zero out all of these tariffs. You're not going to do it. And they may never have another vote again because they're out anti-democracy. Now, this is just one more point I want to make on why I'm kind of making fun of Canada today. And I love my Canadian audience, don't get me wrong. But this is Rachel Thomas. So Trudeau is raising his punitive carbon tax by 23% on April 1st. This was back in a year ago, February 9th, almost one day short of a year ago, February 9th, 2024.
The carbon tax is extremely punitive in nature. It goes after those individuals who are working hard to produce food.
They went after their farmers with a carbon tax. Canada shouldn't be upset at America for taxing them, for putting a 20% tariff on them or a 25% tariff on them. Their own government put a 23% tax on all of their people for using fuel. That's a carbon, and now their carbon credits are getting worse. That is the green, think of the green agenda, which tends to be a tax on fuel and electricity. 25%, 30%. So Canada loved punishing their own people in this government. Now, this one's even better. So this is that same guy, Poilievre, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Poilievre guy right there. After 9 years of Liberals, taxes up, costs up, crimes up, time's up. This is from September of last year. And now Trudeau wants a 300% carbon tax hike all the way up to 60 cents a liter.
After 9 years of NDP Liberals, taxes up, costs up, crimes up, time's up. And now he wants a 300% carbon tax hike all the way up to 61 cents a liter.
Trump is bad. He wants to put a 25% tax on them. Trudeau wants the taxes to go up 300% per liter. So Canada, just so you know, I'm just helping point out who the real enemy is. It's not Donald Trump. If anything, your country straightening itself out and going MAGA could end up saving Canada. That's MAGA doing great by Trump taking a stand against these people. I hope they buckle under the tariffs. I hope they stop importing fentanyl. And Trump and MAGA are going to keep them on their toes. And I still hope Pierre Poilievre can run and win, but it looks like they're not going to have an election. Let me know, Canada, what you guys think in the comments below. And to the rest of America, how do you like Canada being our hat? And I also like Mexico being our pants. I'm Doug, in exile.